Okay, so good evening. So we'll get going now. It's just gone 5:15. So we're going to start in Shavasana. So lying flat back onto our mat or blanket. So just get somewhere nice and comfortable. With not too many distractions around. And then we'll do about a 35 minute practice. So Friday evening, or whenever you might be watching back on the video. So we'll get a full body opener, we'll get a nice stretch at the beginning, and then we'll move into a nice meditation in motion then as we move through, okay? So we'll start in Shavasana, lying flat back onto your mat, so just get yourself settled. Brilliant. So in Shavasana, we want to just slow the mind and the body down, especially now it's the evening. So we just want to relax. We want to let the body relax. So give yourself permission to relax, to switch the body off. With the mind then just present and alert. So just by following through with my voice will help to keep you here in the present, okay? So lying flat back onto the mat, just get ourselves as comfortable as we can. So if you find it hard to lie flat, if the lower back catches or anything, just pop a cushion or a blanket in under the knees and it'll just raise that lower back up in towards the mat just a little bit more, okay? So draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Let the hands just out by your sides with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Let the fingers just come now to their own natural curve. Give them a little wriggle first. Then let the head, tuck the chin in, have the back of the head on the mat. So have the neck nice and long at the back. Then just give a little move to the feet. Get the legs nice and settled and let the feet just fall out to the side. So when the feet fall out to the side, the legs can begin to relax. The hips don't have to hold the legs. And just take a moment now just to totally switch off. So our challenge in Shavasana is to stay as still as we can. So resisting the urge to move or to fidget. So stay nice and still. Every time we move or fidget, the body wakes up, and we want to let it relax now, so the body will be asleep with the mind awake. So just gently close down the eyes when you're ready. Brilliant. And we just scan down through the body, and as we scan down through each part, check in now at the end of the day with how you're feeling this evening. So notice any parts that we might be carrying, any aches or pains, tension or tightness in the muscles, and then just be mindful of those areas then as we move through the practice. So allow the face to relax, allow the eyes to gently close, and let the eyes just fall back into their sockets. Let the forehead sink and relax. Gently unclench the jaw. So no expression needed now in the face. Then moving down into the shoulders, just notice if the shoulders are holding on. And very gently now just let them sink and melt back into the mat, allowing any tension we're holding in the shoulders to escape gently with the exhale. Then begin to feel the arms heavy down by your sides. Just scan down through the arms into the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. Bring your attention to the rib cage and the torso. Just allow the breath now to gently flow. Moving down into the belly and the lower back. Checking in with that lower back, especially. How is it feeling this evening? Let the belly just relax. Let the breath flow as it wishes. Moving down then into the hips. Allow the big glute muscles at the back just to switch off and relax. Scanning down through the legs, the hamstrings at the back, the quads at the front, down into the knees, into the calves and the shins, and finally the ankles and the feet. So the whole body now weightless and relaxed on the mat. Try to let the mind as well stay present. So try not to dwell on what we've done today or what we have to do after. This is time out for yourself. Allow yourself to feel content in the fact that we have nothing to do and nowhere to be for the next while. This is your time. And then start to notice now our breath. So as always, taking a couple of moments just to follow the breath. So as we move around, as we might feel a little bit of tension, and also there's so much uncertainty at the moment. So we often tend to shallow breathe just into the top of the chest. But now just to calm us down, to bring us here into the present and to get full breaths all around the body, we're going to direct the breath down into the belly. So big, full, deep breath in through the nose, all the way down to feel the belly rise against your clothes. Pause for a second and feel the belly filled with air. And then slow and gently, as you exhale, feel that belly fall. Feel the ribcage fall all the way up as far as the collarbones. Pause then and just feel that empty space. And then slowly begin again. So full, deep belly breaths, feeling that breath go all the way down to the belly. Feeling the belly rise against the clothes. And then a slow but full, gentle exhale. Pause again. And begin again. Brilliant. So just try and keep your attention and awareness on that breath. So by concentrating on the breath, it helps us to turn our focus and our gaze inwards. So nothing matters in the outside world now. For now, it's just us, our mind and our body together. So as you lie now nice and still, we just start to bring our awareness back to ourselves on the mat. So just start to notice again all the different points of contact between your body and the mat. Bring just the smallest bit of movement to the fingers and the toes. Keep the eyes still gently closed and gently let the head just rock and fall from side to side. Brilliant. And then from there, we'll take a nice big, deep breath in. Stretch the arms all the way up overhead. Point the fingers and point the toes. Give yourself a good long stretch. Brilliant. And then from there, just let everything relax. So from there, then we'll just let the knees bend them in towards our chest. Shoulders onto the mat and gently just let the knees rock and fall from side to side. So just opening up that lower back. Nice and gently, let them rock and fall. Brilliant. And then from there, then we're going to hook the two knees in. And nice and gently, just get a little rock from side to side. So massaging out either side of the spine. Brilliant. And then we're going to do two different hip openers now before we start. So we're going to hold the right knee with the right hand, the left knee with the left hand, roll the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to draw the right knee out and up in the direction of the right shoulder, and we do the same with the left. So draw the left knee out and up in the direction of the left shoulder. So direct our breath now deep down into the hips and the groin. Let that upper body relax back onto the mat. Try and lengthen your tailbone long onto the mat. So from the top of the head, right down to the tailbone. Feel that length through your spine. Brilliant. And nice and gently, micro movements, letting the knees just relax out to the side. Brilliant. Just take another couple of breaths here. If it gets too intense, bring the knees back in together. But just try and feel the power of the breath on the exhale, letting those hips just relax out a little more. Don't pull, just guide. Then very gently bring them back together. Plant them down onto the mat, and then we'll come into a lying butterfly. So we'll bring the soles of the feet together. And this time, just let the knees fall apart. You can let your palms just up to the ceiling. If this is too intense, you can plant a cushion in underneath each knee if it gets too much. So feeling it here now, the hips and the groin, let them open. And notice now if you're holding on. So the hips hold tension, but they also hold a lot of emotion. So they can be quite tight and stiff and just holding on. But just try now and relax. Think about where you're directing the breath down. As you exhale, then just let go that little more. Thinking of the knees, just falling down towards the mat. And remembering that we're all very different. So different skeletons. So for some, the knees will fall straight to the floor. For others, they'll be up quite high. And that's fine. You only ever go into the postures as far as is good for you. And then nice and gently. From there, we'll bring the two knees back in together. Then just walk your feet to the outside of your mat. So you're going to be bringing your knees just in together. So you're going the opposite now. Just letting the hips just close in for a second. Giving them that just little rest after they've been opened out twice. And just relax there for a breath or two. Brilliant. Perfect. So nice and gently, just walk the feet back in together. Then we're just going to hook the two knees in. Give yourself a nice little rock from side to side, massaging out either side of the spine. And then start to just rock yourself forward and back, rolling up and down the spine. Brilliant. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up then into a seated position on the mat. Brilliant. So in our seated position, we're now just going to stretch the backs of the legs. But before we do that, we'll do that butterfly now in a seated position. So we've done it there in our lying flat position. So now we'll go to our seated position. So bring the soles of the feet together. Find the two sit bones up nice and tall. So the spine is tall. Let the shoulders relax down. Then we're going to hold here onto our shins. Let the elbows to the insides of the knees. And again, we're just guiding the knees towards the mat. We're not pushing. So big deep breath in as we sit nice and tall. Feel the energy up through the spine. And then as we exhale, gently guide those knees towards the floor using the elbows, small little micro movements. And on each exhale, just tilt the upper body forward just a touch, but keeping that spine nice and long. Brilliant. And again, just find stillness in the posture. Work with your breath. Feel the power of that exhale. Excellent. Then nice and gently from there, just hold on to the toes. Gently butterfly out the knees. Brilliant. And when we're ready then from there, we'll bring the right leg out at an angle. We'll bring the left foot in by your right thigh. So we're letting this left knee down towards the mat now with each breath. Again, the knee might be up high. For some, the knee will fall. Don't worry, wherever your body lands is perfect for you. Same now when we go to move the hands, wherever your hands land is perfect for you this evening, okay? So bend the knees slightly if we're tight in the hamstrings. We'll sit up now nice and tall again. So find the two sit bones at the back and then think of your spine vertebrae by vertebrae up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to take a big deep breath in, twist our torso to face that straight long leg. Big deep breath in, stretch up nice and tall. And as we exhale now, fold from the hips. Let the hands land down the leg. Wherever the hands land is perfect. So as you breathe in, feel energy up through the spine. And then as you exhale, where that space becomes available, let this left knee, the bent knee, fall towards the mat. Let the chest fall towards that thigh. And again, if the hands are back here and that's far enough of a stretch for you, that's perfect. Just lengthen out those arms so we're feeling it all the way down either side of the rib cage. Brilliant. Just take another breath. Breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Brilliant. Then nice and gently peel vertebrae by vertebrae all the way back to the center. And we'll go to the opposite side. So we let the left leg out at a slight angle. This time bring the right foot in by the side of our left leg. Let that right knee fall towards the floor. Brilliant. Then we twist our torso again round to face this left leg. Sitting nice and tall, let the shoulders drop back and down. Take a big deep breath in. Stretch and lengthen those arms long. And again, as we exhale, fold from the hips. Keeping that opposite sit bone on the mat. Letting that right knee fall towards the floor. Breath in again as we breathe in, stretch long. Wherever the hands land again is perfect for you. And as you exhale, just fold a touch where space becomes available. Let the head drop down. Feel that stretch all down the back of the leg, all down the back. On that right knee that's bent. Brilliant. Just take another breath. Feeling the power of the breath. Perfect. Good. And nice and gently from there, we'll come back to a seated position. Brilliant. So from there now, we're going to come in to a seated easy pose, so cross-legged easy pose. If you feel that this seated position is a little bit tough, then you can plant a cushion in underneath, helps to just raise you up a small bit, okay? So from here now, we're just going to stretch all down our sides. So we're going to take a big deep breath in. We're going to stretch and lengthen the arms all the way up overhead. From there now, as we exhale, we're going to let the left hand fall towards the mat. Let it bend, and we're going to point the fingers all the way over to the left-hand side. So feel that stretch now from the top rib all the way down to the bottom rib. Try not to fall forward. Try to stay in that same line of motion. Keep the right sit bones still on the mat. As you breathe in, lengthen out of your sit bones. And as you exhale, just fall forward over to the side to touch. Let that left elbow bend. Use it just as a balance. Brilliant. Take another breath. Good. And then as we breathe in, come all the way back to the center. Stretch up tall again. We'll go the opposite side. As we exhale, let the right hand drop to the mat. Stretch and lengthen those left fingers all the way over. Keep letting the knees fall down. This time, keep the left sit bone onto the mat. Brilliant. With each breath, stretching a little further. Good. And then we'll do one more each side with one breath. Breath in, stretch tall. Exhale, bend and go straight over. Big, deep breath in, stretch long. Breathe in, back to the center, stretch up. Exhale all the way over. Brilliant. Perfect. And then nice and gently, big, deep breath in, back to the center. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer position and all the way down to heart center. Good. So then we get a nice just spinal rotation from there. So we'll bring the hands onto the knees. And we're going to be twisting now, opposite hand to opposite knee. Nice spinal rotation, and think about wringing out the internal organs. So rotating from the inside. So again, we'll sit nice and tall. Take a big deep breath in. Stretch back up. This time we'll go right hand as we exhale to the left knee. Let the left hand back behind us. Stay up on the fingers at the back so we're not leaning back. So sit up tall. Think of a string pulling that head up towards the ceiling. Use the right hand against your left knee just to gently again guide us around. Let the shoulders drop back and down. Brilliant. So as you breathe in out, close the eyes gently. Sit tall. Energy up through the spine as you exhale. Internally rotate. Just creep those fingers on the left hand back a touch more. Brilliant. Let the shoulders sink down. Take one more breath. Perfect. Big deep breath in, back to the center. Go the opposite side. Exhale, left hand to the right knee. Let the right fingertips all the way back behind. Again, let the left hand guide against the right knee. Sit up nice and tall. Don't twist with the neck. Twist with the spine. Twist with the torso, an internal rotation. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, creep around. Brilliant. Open that chest. Let the shoulders drop back and down. Excellent. Perfect. Just one more breath. Brilliant. That big deep breath. Come all the way back to the center and exhale. Two hands to prayer position and all the way down to heart center. Perfect. So we're ready now. From there, we'll come around into our all fours position. Brilliant. So in our all fours position now, we're going to move into our cat-cow, and then we'll add in the limbs, the arms and the legs. So when you're ready, we're going to go into hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. So important to always get movement in that spine on its own. So from here, as we breathe in, we're going to let the belly button drop towards the mat. Lift the chin and the tailbone. Nice arch in the lower back. And as we exhale, press through the hands. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, and round those shoulders all the way up towards the ceiling. Same again, scoop through, big deep breath in as we lift that chin and that tailbone. Feel that arch in the lower back. Exhale, draw all the way through, round those shoulders, really pull that belly button back towards the spine. And we'll do one more, big deep breath in. Lengthen long, chest, heart center to the front. And exhale, come all the way through, round the shoulders, brilliant. And nice and gently then, come back to center, perfect. So from there then, we're going to warm up in our downward facing dog. We're going to then warm up in our plank, and then into our child's pose. And then we're going to add those four moves together. So this first one here is our tabletop position. Then our next one, widen out the fingers for a downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale now, press through the hands, lift the tailbone high, push the chest right back to meet those thighs, push the head in between the arms and feel the strength through the shoulders. Then we're going to come up onto our tippy toes and pedal out one heel at a time, dancing feet. Bring the opposite knee in towards the chest, so feeling a nice stretch down the backs of the calves, the Achilles. So after a day, we might have spent on our feet, stretch right down now, down the back of the calves and Achilles. Brilliant. And from there then, come back down onto the knees, and then the next one will come into our plank position. So walk just to the top of the mat, remembering in your plank that it's all from the core. Never ever feel anything in your back. So to come into a good plank position, the hands are directly below the shoulders. We take one big step back with one foot to get nice and long, so the hips are down, not tailbone to the sky this time. Think a long line from the head to the tailbone, and then the other leg comes up to meet. The hands and the feet are at the same width apart. Hold that plank now strong. That if you have back or wrist trouble, go to the knees and hold it there. Brilliant. So let half the weight. Good. So if we can then hold that high plank position, draw the belly button back towards the spine, watch that the head isn't falling through, a long line all the way down. Brilliant. Just hold it one more breath. Brilliant. Then drop to the knees, flatten the 2 feet, and press yourself right back into Child's Pose Balasana. So think of a hand resting on the back of your lower back, pressing your hips down towards the feet. Lengthen the hands out nice and long. Stretch up either side of the rib cage. Brilliant. And then when you're ready, then come back to center, and we're going to put those 4 together. So it's a mindful movement, meditation in motion. So our mind is caught up in thinking of the different moves. We're moving, stretching, getting flow through the body, the blood flowing through the body. Brilliant. So we take our time. At any point, if you need to stay back in that child's pose for a couple of rounds, by all means do, okay? So this is a good one to do on your own as well at home. So our first one, we take a big deep breath in here in tabletop position. Then as we exhale, we tuck our toes, we press up into that downward facing dog. Number 3, we're going to come forward, take a step, inhale into that plank position, long plank. Exhale, drop to the knees, flatten the feet, and sit back into that child's pose. Get ready again. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale, long into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose, lengthen out those arms longer so we have more room. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. Brilliant. Keep going. Inhale, tabletop 1. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. Lengthen out the arms again so we have space. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. Start to feel that heat now build in the body. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Take a break if you need. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. We'll keep going 3 more. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. Stay there if you need. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift up, downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, sit back, child's pose. And 1 more. Tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Plank. Sit back, child's pose, and relax here. So let the head fall down, widen out the knees if you need. And then we're going to bring the arms back by our side. So bring the soles of the feet and the palms of your hands beside each other. And now let the shoulders just sink and melt off either side of the knees. So you can bring the knees in closer or wider, whatever feels better. But just let those shoulders melt off either side of the thighs. So let the shoulders relax and go. Brilliant. So good posture here for digestion. Brilliant. Just bring your breath back. Perfect. Brilliant. Then very gently, when you're ready, just curl yourself back up to a seated position. And we're going to bring ourselves around into a seated position on the mat. And then we're going to do our core move now from here. And then we move into our spinal twist. Okay, so here we're going to plant the 2 feet onto the mat in our seated position. So we've blood now going through the body, so we're nice and warm. Focus now on our core now. So planting the 2 feet, find the 2 sit bones. So make sure we sit nice and tall. We're never starting with a rounded spine. So big deep breath in, chest facing forward. Bring the arms out by your sides. Take a big deep breath in now as we sit tall. And now as we exhale, tuck that belly button in and slowly start to curl our spine all the way down, vertebrae by vertebrae, resisting that fall. When we get to the bottom, take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale now, peel, head, shoulders, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly all the way up. Use the hands to pull on the backs of the legs if you need. Sit tall at the top. Exhale, slowly peel all the way down, drawing that belly button back towards the spine. Let the head relax. Brilliant. One more. Big deep breath in. Exhale, head, shoulders, peel all the way up, nice and slowly. Big deep breath in at the top, sit tall, and exhale. Slowly, peeling vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down to the mat. And when you come to the mat this time, bring the 2 knees in and just give yourself a nice little gentle rock from side to side. Brilliant. From there then, we'll plant the 2 feet down onto the mat. Good. We're going to just like we started, so let the shoulders down away from the ears. Gently let the knees rock and fall from side to side. Brilliant. So they might be a little bit more open now towards the end. Then we're going to let our left knee fall all the way to the mat. Lift the right knee and plant it up on top. Widen out the arms nice and long so the knees are out to the left-hand side. Twist and turn your face to face the opposite direction out towards the right. And now stay here and find stillness in this posture. Direct the breath down into the lower back. So full breaths again. Full breath down into the lower back, and as you exhale, just try and release any tension. Brilliant. Then very gently from there, unravel. Let the right knee fall all the way out to the side. Lift and plant the left knee on top this time. Twist and turn the head to face the opposite direction again. Close the eyes and find the stillness. Let the feet go. Brilliant. Then nice and gently come all the way back to center. Perfect. Then we'll just do 1 or 2 glute bridges just to stretch the backs of the legs, lower back of the chest. So plant the 2 feet into the mat. All the weight is going to come up through our heels. Have the feet and the knees at hip width apart, and when we're ready, nice big deep breath in. Slowly start to peel from the bottom, from the pelvis and the hips. Slowly peeling all the way up. Come right up towards the shoulder blades. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Pause at the top. Good. And then as you exhale, peel slowly. Vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down to the mat, feeling that lower back press in. We'll do 1 more. Big deep breath in. Press up through the heels. Curl all the way up, right up onto the shoulder blades. And exhale, peel slowly all the way down towards the mat and feel that lower back press in. Brilliant. From there, then we'll come to our final posture, just like we started, into our Shavasana. So let 1 leg out at a time. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Grab a blanket if you have it, if you want. And then we'll just do a short body scan. But if you want to knock off the video and stay there in Shavasana for longer, nice bit of yoga music and relax, by all means do. Okay? So let the head relax back onto the mat. Just slightly tuck the chin. And just like we've done before now, let the hands out to the side.
palms up towards the ceiling. Let the feet fall out to the side and just let the body now totally relax. So switch off again. So we've moved and stretched now. Now it's time to relax. We'll start at the bottom and just notice any changes you might feel. Imagine your mat is like a warm sand or a warm blanket and you're just sinking into the mat, resisting the urge to move or to fidget. Just scan up through the body, so starting at the feet, feel a nice warm, healing light shine on the soles of the feet. Feel that nice light move up along the ankles, move up along the shins and the calves. Feeling the feet now warm, weightless and relaxed. Feel that nice warmth, shining light move up through the tops of the legs, through the hamstrings at the back, through the quads at the front, around into the glutes at the back. Feel the light shine and move around the hips, allowing the hips to sink and open into the mat. So feel that lower body now just switched off for now. Moving up then into the lower back and the belly. Just feel a nice warm light shine on the lower back and up through the belly. Moving up around the ribs, front and back, up into the shoulders. Feel those shoulders just sink and melt back into the mat. Scanning down through the arms, feel a warm light shine down into the elbows, into the forearms, the wrists, the fingers, and let that light rest on the palms of your hands. Switch off the arms. Moving up then along the back of the neck, into the head, crown of the head. Feeling grateful now in the mind that we took the time out of our evening to roll out the mat, time out for ourselves. And bring that nice light now finally around to the face. So allow the face just to melt, the eyes to fall back, unclench the jaw, and just allow yourself to be now for a moment. Feel the weightless feeling. Just let the breath flow naturally. Just notice the flow of the breath. The belly rise and fall. And then from there with the eyes still closed, keep the nice calm, relaxed feeling. Bring the smallest bit of movement to the fingers and the toes. Then very gently take a nice breath in. Stretch the arms up overhead. Just point the fingers and point the toes. Give yourself a nice long stretch. Then using the right arm as a cushion, just roll over onto your right hand side. Stack the hips and stack the knees and just stay there for a moment. And then when you're ready, then press yourself up, take your time and come up into a seated position, cross-legged, easy pose. Brilliant. So just get a little stretch in the neck. So bring the left ear towards the left shoulder, let the right shoulder drop down. Brilliant. Come back to the center and go to the opposite side. Brilliant. Come back to the center and take a nice big deep breath in. Stretch the arms all the way up overhead. And then as we exhale, bring the two hands to prayer position and all the way down to heart center. So thanks so much for joining in another video. We'll keep them going. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good weekend. Namaste. Brilliant.